Hello! Welcome to Izzy's Logic of Light and Color series, episode 21, The Lighting Game. This is going to be our first episode of the new year, 2017. Super exciting. That means I've been running around on the boat now for almost 2 years, and you guys have been around to hear the action and madness and also learn right along with me as we explore different avenues of lighting, color, and illustration methods. In this episode, we're going to build on everything that we learned in episode 20, the lighting ball. It's pretty much kind of a fundamental necessity in order to really grasp everything that we're going for here. So I recommend watching episode 20, the lighting ball, first, in which I cover how to analyze the lighting from the first image and create sort of a light probe that you're going to apply to a second image, which is the game. So what we're going to do in this episode is I'm going to take a lighting scenario from a film or TV show or something like that I found interesting. Again, I look for, just as much as I look for anatomy reference or detail reference with armor or vehicles or whatever, I also avidly look for lighting reference. And the great thing about lighting reference is it doesn't matter at all what's in the image. Only thing that matters to me is the lighting scenario itself. So we're not going to pay too much attention to the contents of the images that we're working with. I want you to really work with me and focus on the lighting and the lighting scenario that's taking place in that shot. So before we get going into the exercise itself, I wanted to show you guys some previous sort of experiments that I've done with this. I've only just started kind of thinking about how this might work in the last maybe 5 or 6 months. So these things that I'm showing you guys are stuff that I'm picking up on the go, and I just wanted to share some examples so that you can kind of see my thought process, and of course you can kind of understand what we're going to be going for throughout the rest of this video. So here's some examples. Check these out. On the left hand side of these different images, we'll see the two images that I combined in order to make my own amalgamation of subject and lighting. I think in general the lighting is on top and the subject is on the bottom. I didn't worry about maintaining the same composition that I had before, but I did worry about making an interesting composition with what I had. I worked on a smaller canvas so that I could go really as fast as possible. So in a lot of ways this is kind of a speed exercise, and it's not really about getting the accuracy in any exact thing of the subject image. It's really about capturing the lighting and applying that this new lighting onto that image. So again, it's not really about getting exact detail. This is not a rendering exercise. This is totally about getting light. So just get the forms and shapes correct, and then obey your new rules of light and apply them. And take as long as you need in order to learn what you need to about how the rules apply. But don't worry too much about rendering, because again, this is just an exercise. It's just for fun. It's a game. So treat it that way, and it's completely okay to do that. Anyway, moving on. So with this one, I really dug the atmosphere, and I really enjoyed the lighting overall with this heavy atmosphere and high overcast, so the light itself is not really strong high contrast. Everything's kind of in a nice mid-tone value key. And then I had all of these nice orange hotspots, which of course is done on purpose. I'm sure that this image and this footage was severely colorized in post, which is totally normal. But the cool thing about that is that that's a palette that we can pull from that's completely all figured out. We don't need to worry about figuring out colors that apply. However, in my final shot, there is no fire, there is no light that can be seen in shot. So I tried to find another way to introduce warm colors and oranges in there without having this same effect going on. So anyway, we jump to the next one. Obviously, I just liked the simplicity of the outfit and the fact that it's just sort of a silhouetted shape in front of some graded form, some graded values going back into the distance. And this is by design. When you pick your subject image, make sure that it's something that's controllable. Like, you don't want to do a shot of you know, 1,000 people in a stadium or something like that. This is just about practicing lighting, or you know, practicing how you can convert values to represent different things. And the more complicated or complex that image is, the more difficult it's going to be, and the less it's going to be about understanding light, form, color, value, and the correct strokes and the correct spots, and the more it's going to be about rendering. So try to choose images that are not going to force you to really render too much.